I'm gonna put you on some deep game right now because this is something that I have to address. I know a lot of brothers, a lot of people in general, who have been held back for one reason, and one reason in particular. It relates to just not knowing how to overcome hardship, and I don't know how to express more than what I've already said, relating to just overcoming the circumstances that perhaps sometimes in life we realize things don't work in our favor. First thing you need to realize is you don't control everything in life, right? There are some things you just cannot control in this lifetime. And once you come to that realization, I feel like life just gets a whole lot easier because you let go of a lot of weight and you do your best to just make sure that you live your life based on the things that you can control. Because at the end of the day, you gotta be in a position where you feel so comfortable with yourself that once something bad happens, you know yourself well enough to be able to just say, listen, this is not gonna work out for me and I'm gonna do something to change this. So when you come to that realization that the change is the best response to anything that's ever gone wrong in your life, you start to see life from a whole different perspective, and you really do adopt a concept of just being able to come to terms with what's really happened, and it's the truth, right? The truth is, in life, when you put your trust in people, people will let you down, okay? In life, when you put too much dependence on a system outside of your own knowledge and overall upbringing, that system will let you down, okay? I can tell you this right now, alright? The people who you think won't hurt you will be the ones to hurt you. And that's the sad truth of life. And I'm talking about those who are close to you. Like, those people who are currently in your circle, those people will be the ones to truly do it to you. And I know that's tough to believe. You may think I'm crazy, but just think about it for a second. Like, if you think about every story of betrayal you've ever heard, I don't think the betrayal ever, it's rare to hear that betrayal come from a stranger. It comes from somebody who knows the source and somebody who just knows the insides and outs of the operation. And sadly, I had to learn this the hard way, and I don't know how to really kind of voice to you that the only way you're gonna overcome this is by knowing who you are to the core root of yourself. This is why I spoke about purpose, because life in general won't ever hand you more than you can take. It will always give you a fair share of what's due. And I don't know how many times I've lost count of the amount of people who have been set back due to heartbreak or failure, but realize this, it's never a setback, it's a lesson. A lesson. If you had the grace of being able to learn a lesson, trust me, you're blessed. Many people don't learn, right? Once you learn that lesson, it builds your foundation for life. Just think about it. Imagine if you were like 50 and you made the mistake. Just imagine for a second, like you're 50 and you make the mistake. It's very different from you making the mistake at a younger age. You would rather make that mistake at a younger age, right? And that's why I'm saying that the lesson you learn, especially if you have the grace of being younger. If you're older, then you kind of just have to really work harder, I would say. When it comes to life, right, I'm learning it really doesn't get easier with age. It becomes a lot more complex. It becomes very complex. It becomes harder to find friends, harder to find a partner, harder to trust people. And when that happens, you just learn the importance of being kind of content and grateful for everything and all the circumstances that may have pressed your life, because they weren't there to harm you. right? You got to learn how to turn that pain into power. And I feel like once you adopt that concept, life just gets very not necessarily easier, but it flows. It flows. You go with the flow. And I'm sure you've heard that saying before, because listen, nobody here is perfect. I can tell you, we all make mistakes, but you need to start understanding how you are only going to overcome those mistakes if you adopt the concept of learning from your experience. And it's through that learning that you can actually evolve. You'll see your mentality will transform. You know, your attitude will transform. You'll be walking more with an upright chest. Your people will see, oh, something's different about him, right? Let me tell you something. All these CEOs, these entrepreneurs, you don't think they failed to launch the first spaceship to the moon? You don't think they failed to generate AI technology and just... You think these people were just perfect in the journey? No, everything comes with failure, right? We experience failure every day, but ultimately the lesson that you gotta learn from failure is it doesn't define you. It's seasonal, it's temporary. You have the power to change it, okay? And this is what they don't want you to know, because so many people just feel like that's it. No. Life is a journey, and I'm telling you that right now. We truth be told, haven't even started the first part of that journey. So if you think you're up now, you're done now, I promise you, you're just getting started. You're just getting started. And you know, I learned this stuff once I actually come to the realization that nobody is worth sacrificing my happiness for. There's no job out there, right? There's no job, there is no amount of finance, there is nothing that I would ever compromise or sacrifice my well-being for. People are not what they present themselves to be. All these people you see happy on social media, you need to see them when they put the camera down. Okay, when they're truly in their space, they can't do this type of work that perhaps you're capable of doing, because they're always seeking outside approval. But you have to understand, you're on a mission right now, all right? Your mission is to just be who you were called to be, right? And I always say this, whenever I give this advice, I urge you just not to hurt anybody else, right? Always treat people with a considerable amount of respect, because you never know what other people have been through. Like I said, those people who hurt other people are deep down inside themselves just hurt. They're stuck, they're lost. They won't be able to comprehend what you're doing. It will seem crazy and foreign to them, because they're still in that mindset of what they've been taught since like ancient times. And this is your opportunity to understand that your story does not end with a single mistake. The mistake has to be lessened, has to be learned. Once you come to that concept and that realization, I promise you, life gets easier. You'd never learn how to actually live under your own means until you've truly experienced hardship, right? And it's through that hardship you're like, listen, my life does not need to be like this. But here's the thing, and I know you're gonna not like me for saying this, but it's gonna require work. I didn't say it was gonna come easy. It's going to come with sleepless nights. It's gonna come with sacrifice. It's gonna come with discipline. You're gonna have to learn how to drop those bad habits. You seriously have to understand the importance of being affirmed in your vision, because at the end of the day, the only person who can see the path of your life is you. Nobody else can dictate it, no matter what they say or what their opinion is. They always will have an opinion, and that's all it ever is. It's an opinion. It is not reality, okay? The reality is what you live. And once you understand that, you really understand that the the concept of change, everything lies in your control. So don't take failure too hard. Don't learn to kind of be complacent. I think you really have to be appreciative of the fact that you even had the opportunity to undergo that lesson, because many people wouldn't be able to take it if they were in your shoes. So that's the reality of the situation we live in, that we are certainly in a position right now where those people would not even survive a day in your shoes, but they feel they have the audacity to question you and to talk about your journey. Man, that's different. That's different. When you're a talker, you don't get far. When you perform action, you get far. And here's the thing, when you take those little steps, I promise you, those steps will lead to some fortune. They will lead you to more abundant opportunities than the life you settled for, because those steps will come with lessons, right? And here's the thing, I think a lot of people don't understand that just because you don't make money on the first day of living your dream, that doesn't mean you're a failure. Think of all the other things you've gained. You've gained a sense of peace, you've gained a sense of identity, you've gained a sense of joy, and you're actually for the first time living life how it's supposed to be lived. We're not supposed to be living in cubicles, and I mean that. Like, no disrespect to people who work those jobs. I'm sure we all gotta provide for our families, but like that it by itself is a journey, and the next journey you gotta take is really understanding, okay, how far am I capable of taking this? And like I said, it's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. When you understand that, I think you truly grow and you evolve and you transform, and you're capable of just really grasping the importance of being a little bit more grounded in your own knowledge, your own experience, your own nature, and your own reality, because this is what the world doesn't want you to do. The world is very particular with how they kind of take you into the system and expect you to live by what they call their norm, but their norm's expiring, right? We can't be teaching kids to live for the weekend anymore. We can't be teaching people to go to nightclubs and to rely on external substances to cope with pain. We need to teach people how to actually deal with the hardship, and that's not going to happen unless somebody actually speaks out, right? And somebody actually points out some of the faults in the system, because I tell you right now, nobody here is perfect. If we were perfect, we wouldn't be having all these health problems as we speak. Our system, especially just in developed countries, as they like to call it, is corrupt, right? That there is no actual solution to really learn and to optimize the most of your experience, because at the end of the day, that is only something that can be learned from you, and it can't be learned from anyone else, because only you know your life, only you know what you've been through. There's nobody out there who has the answer for you. You got to figure that out by yourself. And this is how I'm urging you to just like move on from whatever it is that's holding you back. Move on from those people or that group that perhaps you feel like you're outgrowing your friends or something, or perhaps you had a situation that didn't work out. That happened for a reason. It's happening so you can be redirected to a much greater purpose, and through that you truly understand how important it is to just be more grounded, be more understanding of you as a person, because you never ever want to be in a position where you hate your life, where you're on your last few steps and you're living a life of regret. That is poison. That hurts. That is like the worst thing in this world. So promise me, you will live your life to the fullest.